Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Joshua Meekins, a producer on Oldhead the series, and you are checking out a producer breakdown brought to you by Mike J Media. So we are on our second episode of Oldhead the series, and I think a fun fact to even start y'all off with, the Chenault Productions logo, the thing that you see in the beginning, is actually a baby photo of me that we mocked up for our company logo. It kind of fit what we were going for, like the really, striving for, reaching something for something higher at the time, and I guess it's like a cool little fun fact. People see that and go like, oh, that's a dope logo. It's me as a baby, which is nuts. One thing I will say, one of my favorite things about Oldhead is the intro. If the voiceover you hear is Face, who plays Fred. He also plays Jesus, as you see later on in the series. But I think he freestyled that. He kind of just started going off what was on top of the dome, which was really dope. And it's, in my opinion, an iconic intro. All right, this first scene with Ashley and LA, one is an intimate scene, and when we put this scene together, one of the things that we do is always we try to respect the actors' privacy and their intimacy during intimate scenes. So we keep the crew very light on scenes like this. But one thing I was really proud of us for this scene is the lighting. Like, we really had it look like you had the lights coming in through the moonlight through the blinds, and I think it was really cool how we kind of put that together. But you could tell we were kind of like getting the hang of the lighting in this situation, which was really cool. And you kind of see it progress as the series goes on, especially at that scene when LA sits up to look at the TV and you got the lights across his face. Cinematic, man, super cinematic. Okay, so we see Fred at the hospital, getting greeted by the nurse, telling him the update on Bumpy. Fun fact, and people don't know, is that this hospital is not a hospital at all. It's a hallway at our university, Villanova University. It's a hallway at Villanova University that we kind of mocked into, shot really tight and close to make it seem like it was a hospital. We had I think it was like one hallway down in the basement somewhere that had like white walls that looked very much like a hospital, and you would not even know from looking at it that it wasn't a hospital. So I think we did a good job with that. But it really shows that you can shoot something anywhere, as long as you can make the environment look like what you want it to look like. I never peeped this, but you get a drastic change in our character. LA gets the fresh cut, fresh out of jail, gets the fresh cut, and this is his first scene where we really see him and Fred together, which is so ironic on so many levels as the series progresses and you see their relationship develop. Or even if you haven't checked out the movie yet, when you get to see the movie, you get to really see more about how that kind of expands for the two of them. But I think there's a certain magic that I think Dat brings to every single scene that he's in, especially this one with Fred here. Like it's almost like kind of sparring. Like they bring out friendly competition and make each other better. And in this scene, you really get to see that. All right, then we get into one of my favorite scenes. This scene was actually shot in a basketball court. I want to say up in North Philly. That wasn't West Philly. I think it was definitely North Philly. And we get to see Seam here acting with Rosenberg, and the chemistry that these two brought to the screen. I think Seam brought so much authentic chemistry to every scene that he was in. Like, you couldn't tell, to be honest with you, I think he looked over his lines a few times and just jumped into the scene each time. He was just so naturally gifted and acting and kind of anything he touched. So when you get to see the banter between him and Rosenberg, you're like, yo, this is real. He was getting real reactions. Some of the stuff was improv, but it was a really dope scene that was really strong. And I always give Seam his credit, man. He was incredibly talented at what he did. Again, seeing with Ashley and LA, the lighting, man, we was doing our thing. Big shout out to Rob, Alex, Tom, really kind of setting that up for us. They did an amazing job getting that lighting right, shooting this at night and getting the lights to come through the blinds like that, man. It's beautiful, very cinematic. All right, my favorite, this is out of everything we did in Oldhead, we actually did an homage to this scene in Oldhead the movie, but Speedy, and it was one of my favorite characters. Speedy is actually Alex, for those who don't know. Alex is one of the producers and the creators of Oldhead. I want to say Tony talked him into the role, but like he really killed it. He embodied it really well. We didn't know it was gonna go as good as it did, but he killed it, man. Like he is this, you know, guy living in the glory days, thinking he's still on top, trying to relive those glory days, and just doing the oddest things. Like he's got trophies all over the crib, you know, treating LA all types of ways. And next thing you know, he's an addict. We had no idea, but he was. So like that was like this scene, it just brings so much joy to me every time I see it. And you know, for those who haven't checked out Oldhead the movie, you'll have an opportunity to do it really soon, but there's an homage to this scene, just because it was so powerful and people loved it. People loved this scene and loved this character, Speedy. And Alex, man, shout out to you, man. You really did a good job. It was crazy. It's crazy how Tony kind of talked us all into roles within it, because you guys know, later on you get to see me pop up. But yeah, it was really dope. It was really dope. Speaking of me popping up, you know, we get to see me for the first time playing Rev with the shades on, the fresh cut, looking like I'm in some kind of suit out the window, giving an update to who knows who on the phone. Like, you know, it was definitely a dope experience. But this is like everybody's first look at Rev. Like, he's this guy, he's this voice in the background. Nobody knows who he is, but you know, he apparently is pulling the strings. One of those things about those Ray-Bans, I found those Ray-Bans on the street one day and just threw them on, and they just completed a look. So I think that's always like a really like funny story about how he kind of put that together. And I want to say we're sitting in the back of my car. Maybe it might not be my car, but I want to say it was my car. But that was my first like on scene gig. I will say though, I did leverage the character Rev to do other stuff. So, you know, shout out to Tony putting the acting bug in me for a little bit. But like, yeah, Rev is a character that I had to grow to love, and you know, at one point had to say goodbye to, just filling in that role to make sure I could step into the producer role the way I wanted to. All right, that's another episode of The Producer Breakdown, brought to you by My Chain Media. You can check out Oldhead the series on Fox Soul, Tubi, and on YouTube. So check us out. Check out the whole series. We love to see your comments. We do answer them, and let us know what you think. Talk to you guys soon.